Well,
wait,
shit's weird now.
That's Samael Abaddon.
All right, it's Prophet support. Unless it's Morphling support.
I don't think we're
It shouldn't be Morphling support.
It shouldn't be. Fears on the Dragon Knight. Give us our last ones.
I mean, who's gonna Arteezy's on Morphling? I mean, that's not. It's a 4 Prophet, I guess.
It's a 4 Prophet.
Got some weird stuff happening, guys. It's a Misery Nature's Prophet. It's a 5 Prophet. Is this real?
I guess so.
It's a real thing, unless they swap their roles. Like, it says Misery's playing Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, that's.
I mean,
that's what it says.
He is going to be able to trade hits really well with an Elder Titan and a Bane. And maybe if you put him in a support position, all of these failings of the hero are not going to be as extreme because it doesn't matter because he's a support anyways, right? Like, he can do his early game stuff. He can rotate, use his Treants to fight people, and then hopefully get some levels, and from there do split push stuff. And again, if he dies, he's a support. Maybe it's not a big deal.
Yeah. Hey, if he can keep Kuro permanently harassed on that bottom lane, if he can stop like Kuro from changing that lane equilibrium so Samael has a good lane in the off, then this makes sense. TP out, gank the mid. You never know when it's going to come. And even if he leeches the levels in the off lane, it's still going to work, right? Because you're going to get potentially a 1-1-1. Then you got Sprout to actually hold him in position to allow fight time. So
yeah, and he's going for it. It's Misery playing Nature's Prophet, guys. It's official here. Support Nature's Prophet. Well,
let's get into it. So EG Liquid, the one and only game to see if they will be able to advance in that upper bracket part, or will they drop down into elimination territory?
So another benefit of him being in this lane is that he can just pull the creep wave with the 2 Treants. So it basically guarantees that their off lane, whoever's laning here, is going to get good experience. And he's got 62 frickin' base damage. That's insane. And he picks up an Aura Venom, so any harass he's doing is 100% going to be valuable.
The smoked up trees are going to give a little bit of extra vision. It's Miracle and Kuro who already have the high ground. You know, take an entire wraparound from Evil Geniuses. Interesting that that ward does block. It's so deep inside the trees.
Yeah, that's a good one. Very difficult to find. And if they block that, that means that the supports can't pull, which means that the creep equilibrium is controllable by EG's side. So if they can keep pulling creep waves and messing that up, it guarantees them levels.
They're already changing the lanes up. So it's going to be a Morphling Rubik off lane. Into the mid will be Fear's DK that leaves Samael on the bot lane Abaddon. And then Misery just, well, he may stay up on top for the start, but he can just rotate down towards the bottom. But Team Liquid sending Matupperman to the bottom with GH. They're going to contest the bounty runes. This will actually give Team Liquid 3 out of the 4 bounty runes. So Miracle and Kuro up on top, and then Mind Control is actually the Bat Rider in mid. So you were kind of calling it before, saying, well, Bat versus DK is still going to be okay for the DK. But that is the matchup we get.
Did I say that? I don't remember.
You were talking about like it's like DK would have a decent time.
I don't remember if I said that, but maybe I did. So right now, I'm not super confident that Bat Rider will, or that DK will do amazing versus Bat. It'll probably be fine. I think because it's in the mid lane is what I said.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the matchup wise. Yeah, in the mid lane it's not terrible because at least he can get under the tower rapidly. But it's not necessarily the best for him.
As long as Fear can survive, like he went no points in Dragon Blood at the beginning, he went Breathe Fire instead. And he's got 5 sticky napalm stacks on him. Make that 6. He needs a stick.
Yeah, he kind of seems like he lost the lane already to me a little bit here. He's got no Dragon Blood just yet. He does get the Breathe Fire out. And in the safe lane, the Treants have been trying to harass GH, but GH has 6 tangos and a Windlace, and he's kind of just beating
plus 72 damage.
The hell out of Misery. And he's just going to die.
Go around the trees, man. Another Spirit down. Pull it back in. Get the movement speed. Under the tower. He'll need one more hit. The dive comes in. Meanwhile, it's Mind Control getting the first blood in mid lane. He'll lose his own life for it, but he'll be very happy with that trade-off while GH gets the kill on bottom.
Well, everything I said was wrong. It's not looking so good for Fear there, getting killed. And the same thing in the safe lane. The Elder Titan is just beating down Prophet. Like, the issues here is that Prophet's way slower with the Windlace. He doesn't trade nearly well enough because Elder Titan hits so hard. And because he's so fast as well, he's just too fast that the Treants don't even do that much damage because he just runs away. So far, this dual lane is not working out so hot here.
It really isn't. Like, just that change-up. Kuro found that Observer Ward in the trees. He said it was hard to find, but he found it. Dropped his own sentry, which does not block the camp.
Probably some practice against certain teams, putting that ward down is why. So ends up finding the D ward, everything's good. Unfortunately, the camp is now blocked still, so it's going to be a while until they are able to be successful with it.
Is it blocked? I think this
it was blocked at the 2-minute mark is my point. So
that's
they got to wait a minute until they can start pulling again. Either way, it's going
GH is ready to go on mid. Spirit South into the Stomp. Mind Control's already got 4 sticky napalm charges on Fear. It's so hard to run away from this, and GH has the bonus 33 damage, but Rubik and Misery, they both come in to join this fight. So Mind Control will fall. GH is on the run. Crit has already burnt everything he's got, but Morphling was considering rotating off, and no way. At GH, he's got his TP up. He's going to put the Spirit out, then gets the TP before anything can happen.
He didn't have a stun anyway, so it was fine.
If
anything, Crit's slightly wasting his time.
Keep going.
Oh, it's just collecting damage.
Yeah, how much bonus damage do you get? It's going to go through 3 camps.
Oh man, watch out. He gets this. If he times this right, he's going to do a lot of damage down here.
I'm waiting to see like how much he actually gets. This Spirit has actually even stopped flying. It's back to walking. Plus 72 damage.
Incredible. Yeah, it's okay. It'll run out. He could redo the trick actually. This is... No, he's not going to.
No. Not for now. Sumail's in the trees, however. Matamba wants to keep fighting. He's already taken the damage away from Sumail. Sumail feeling a little bit more forced.
Is Batrider still dead, or did he just die again? I think he just died again, is what happened. Or Dragon Knight, that is. He just respawned, and I'm pretty sure that wasn't from the previous one. That's his 3rd death now.
Yeah.
Tough game.
Oh, boy.
The amount of HP that he lost in that first trade was really detrimental to him. And he also didn't get a salve rapidly enough, so he was kind of out of lane for a little bit. Like, Mind Control being 3, 2, and 0 is really good. Level 4 on him.
They're actually dominating. Like you're 4 minutes in, you hold the top 3 net worths easily. And if Mind Control's able to get this early Blink Dagger, like this is going to spell so much devastation for EG.
I agree, but they're also against an Abaddon who can remove the lasso potentially, and heroes like Morphling can get out of some dangerous situations. Like, they have some ways to avoid this issue, but we'll see.
Oh, Arteezy trying to have a crack here at Miracle. He's already used his waveform. Miracle has Doppelganger available, as well as the salve. He's trying to save both. They're going to come under the tower. There's multiples to choose from. And there's that salve arriving, using it just as he Doppelgangered out, so no way for EG to cancel it.
I thought maybe Morphling would commit to that, but I think they're going to play it safe here. Any kind of overdive on Morphling is just really difficult to come back from since your hero's a little bit slow. So, doing the safe play here. Lane Ward's going to help them control whether or not they do kill Morphling in the future, but...
Just control him anyway, just by enfeebling. Arteezy can then have, like, basically no damage to farm with. This Morphling is so low on net worth, the ET currently has more net worth than Arteezy has. So Crit and Misery will try and do something about it. Catching Kuro inside the Sprout. They've still got Telekinesis plus the Fade Bolt, so that's a guaranteed kill onto Kuro. But the trade-off, Arteezy took so long, and then GH comes in with the perfect Spirit, with the bonus damage. They can't, yeah, they can actually kill Crit. Thought that TP was going to complete in time, but it does not.
That's tough for EG here. 2k deficit at this point is really huge, actually. But it's not super surprising. Like, Razor just constantly taking damage from Sumail in the bot lane. It's giving him a hard time. Oh, he did.
No.
Not
Sumail,
cut into the right place.
No borrowed time. Matamba needs a little bit more damage, but he won't dive onto the tower, even with the 9-1 charges.
Man, he doesn't even care. He even had a salve, so he's back to full again, and Sumail's forced to leave the lane. He's going to get some bounties at least, but... Man, EG's just getting really pressured here. The Elder Titan kind of just shut this whole thing down.
Mind Control's looking for another fight. He's in behind the tower. I don't think he just realized he's actually trapped between 3 different heroes. Firefly is still available. So Sprout from Misery will do nothing, but the physical damage will do more than everything. Oh, will it? Mind Control. He's on 7 HP with the 1 charge is keeping him alive. GH creates the space with the Stomp. And Evil Geniuses, 3 heroes. Mind Control was basically next to the tier 1 tower, and they still can't kill him with both supports there.
Yeah, that's Prophet, man. He's literally just countered by being a Batrider. Like, he right-clicked him a lot. His treants were hitting him a lot, but it doesn't kill the Batrider. Just stays alive.
He was so low, though. Like, he was so low. Like, if anyone from EG had a slightly better early start, they would have had enough damage to kill him.
But in the same vein, though, the fact that Prophet was there might have just been Batrider advantage.
DK. Stomp is down, just lets them reposition for the Firefly to get back on top of Fear. Nice telekinesis grab, gonna throw him back. Kuro, the brain sap. It's not enough thanks to the one charges for DK. He had a little bit more life, but mind control, they just jump in deep. The Spirit's down once more. Misery as well as Crypt both get hit by the Stomp. GH can move over with his plus 102 damage and the Flamebreaker sticky napalm. EG are just so sluggish every single time they try and turn and get a better position on Liquid.
And again, all they can do is right-click. Like Rubik with Prophet, not exactly the highest control and the highest damage. The only way it works out is if Nature's Call with the Treants is able to disable his opponents. But Batrider just walks over all of the Treants. He doesn't get sprouted. So at that point, it's just a damage trade. And Prophet's damage is not going to be significant until he grabs a big item.
This timing seems interesting from Misery. Jumped up to the top lane to try and battle against Miracle. Again, they fight when Doppelganger is up, so he just puts down the Sprout and forces Miracle to break it with Doppelganger. But they do this when Arteezy just burned Waveform, so he wasn't ready to do any kind of damage. And that lane ward makes it impossible for Crit to surprise Miracle.
And DD's picked up now, so seems like every time Fear comes up the creep wave, he's forced to run back again. Very tough for him. At least EG is going to put some pressure on the top lane, though. Morphling is up here hitting buildings. They've got Treants as well. 3 sets. 5.
Miracle's waiting. Here they go. Razor's going to TP in as well for this one. They focus on Crit to begin with. He's actually the only real stun they've gotten this. The Nightmares on Morphling. Kuro just preps the position. The Lancers will be dodged by the Waveform, but here's your Stomp from GH. They create more space. Start the Static Link. Arteezy, as you said before, once you've used the Waveform, it's impossible to really get away from this. EG just running them down. Even the Courier's in trouble. Going under the tower for Liquid, but it makes it through. Misery can't grab it. He TP'd out looking for him, and Mind Control and GH will just work together. Misery stomped up, and then Mind Control will just burn him with his last fire attack. This is beyond a disaster right now for EG. 3-12 on the board. And Team Liquid just have all the cash.
Just feels a little bit like Theory Crafting gone too far to me right now. I think the Batrider kind of ruined a lot of stuff here for EG. I mean, maybe Liquid is anticipating this support Prophet thing, but either way, there's still benefits of picking Batrider versus the Nature's Prophet, and it kind of gave them this weird matchup thing.
Yep. And then the matchup in the mid, like Liquid being that dynamic that they're willing to say, you know what, we'll put Bat in the mid versus the DK, and then Fear going Breathe Fire on Dragon Blood. So we already started the battle at half-life when Mind Control wanted to initiate.
He did kind of need Breathe Fire. I think the tragic thing for EG was that the 2 first deaths were on Fear in his 1v1, and also on Misery getting killed.
Well, the lasso is out, pulling Fear back in. So many sticky napalm charges and nothing he can do about it.
Like, they just lost those 2 lanes right at the start. Like, it wasn't the end of the world, but if GH gets a fast boots, it's just this huge matchup advantage.
Misery starts his TP. That Stomp is going to cancel in time. Buys more than enough space for Miracle to kill off the Prophet.
And Liquid just took this advantage from these lanes, and they're just snowballing from it. Like, Mind Control has 7 kills, while still also getting 50 last hits. It's incredible.
Hey, at least they can be happy that EG killed the first tower. Actually, no, I can't even claim that because Bane denied the bottom tier 1 tower. He nightmared up Samael and then just denied it. And speaking of which, no borrowed time. Now he's going to level it up, waiting as long as he possibly can. No support TPs. There's no one to help him out, so Mind Control just keeps linking forward to keep the Firefly on top of the targets. Not to mention Matumman installed 224 damage. There was nothing Samael could do.
They're trying to push as fast as they can, and they can do some things, but just Liquid can rotate so much more efficiently right now. It only takes like 2 heroes for them to set up a kill.
Fiend Script, ET split up. Fear's just like, sorry bro, you're dead.
Yep, not that much he can do in response, so EG basically just has to scramble to try to get as much farm as possible. Like, but look at the farm on the cores. Like, Morphling's got 2,700 only. It's not looking good for EG here.
Yeah.
But hypothetically, if Arteezy can grab an item, maybe turn that into some kills in a bit, it could change the game around.
All right now he's looking just at the Perseverance. He's not thinking about anything bigger. Buy the smaller items if he possibly can. But Miracle's had such a great start, he's building directly into Diffuser Blade. Like, they're going to start burning off all the manner of evil geniuses, and there's going to be nothing in the tank to fight. And it's already a limited tank anyway. GH and Mind Control get hit. by the Wrath of Nature. This will potentially reveal there was vision around.
It's going to be a big kill here if they can get Kuro.
Oh, yeah, if they can. That's the question mark. Pick them up. They do. 238 gold.
Pretty good steal, too. They got Brain Sap, so that should be probably level 3 at this point.
It is level 4, in fact.
Level 4, even better. One good advantage of being behind. So now he's got Fade Bolt and Brain Sap for damage. Talking 300 pure.
They're going to force mid. Samael's almost playing bait here, just running towards Matubberman and mind control.
Absolutely. If they can get a disable off on one of these guys and follow it up with like damage from Rubik, they absolutely can get a kill. So this is a good moment for EG, actually. They just need to start turning crit into some kills. They pop a smoke to do so. And it'll be a Dragonite whose ultimate has about 20 seconds left. They have a small window here. It's going to be hard against Phantom Lancer, but if they can get this kill, it'd be huge.
They need crit to get the grab. So the smoke will break, and that means they know to curve to the left, but which one's the real one? They got to find the one moving away. Oh, I thought him for a moment he was going to illusion juke, but Arteezy, that's a big kill for Arteezy to get.
That was huge, huge kill.
That's actually his perseverance.
That was a rare moment where you're like, wow, Miracle didn't do the perfect thing in the moment of tension. Normally, I'm like, Miracle, he's going to get out of any gank no matter what. But that time
was it, right?
Yeah, that time it was, maybe that was the plan. He's like, I'm going to next level these idiots. And then they were just like, it's that one, duh.
I'll go for the obvious choice. I'm not going to next leveled.
Yeah, because honestly, if he runs the illusion and they lift the illusion, he lives. And they needed both stuns to get that kill, most likely. So a big grab that also gives them the tier 1 tower, so EG's going to be pretty happy with that. Only 3k advantage for Liquid now.
Yeah. So Perseverance is there for Arteezy. Actually, he switched out, so he didn't buy the mana. Okay. He's actually going to go for BTs and try and play the global game a little bit more. Kuro, well, fresh Observer Ward down, crits in the neighborhood. Pick him up and throw him around. Arteezy and Crew just want to get out of this one with their lives. Don't let Liquid have the fight. Okay, Crit's going to sacrifice himself. I like how Matubberman just watches him a little bit longer to gain that bonus damage.
Yeah, a little bit more minus armor, and he'll be happy with that one. But he got to buy out at least before he went down, and keeping Arteezy alive is a big deal. And the item Arteezy's trying to finish with BOTs is just going to let him move around the map better and continue to split push, and hopefully by doing so, limits Liquid's ability to get things done.
The lasso's out. Arteezy, he just got this money. He was saving it for the BT, so lose a little bit of unreliable gold. Samael was actually looking to try and fight the bottom lane. Can't get the fight because, well, Miracle's already out, so he's just going to farm up a stack.
It's pretty much the best he can do right now. They just have to buy more time. Looks like Misery's going to go Force Staff next.
I actually might want to leave the rest for Fear. Fear kind of, yeah. If he actually left the rest of that camp, Fear would have had the Blink Dagger.
He'll get it after maybe a camp or two. Yeah, they just respawn. He'll be okay. This is a smart item to pick up because it'll allow him to set tempo himself. He doesn't have treads just yet, but it's okay. He just needs to be the initiator. Then his teammates can follow up. Then they can get these important kills on farmed heroes.
Arteezy TP'd in towards the mid after crit. Just played around with Matubberman. He stole Plasma Field, so very easy to D-push with the waves. A little bit more difficult to avoid the gank coming from Liquid.
It's definitely one of the best things about Rubik is just grab like a basic skill that's leveled up all the way, and all of a sudden your hero feels like a level 12 hero or something like that. 2 highly leveled skills, a nice amplifier from Nullfield, and he can definitely turn things over to his team's advantage here.
EG's turn to smoke. So Blink Dagger gank, they want a good target. Matubberman's going to be it. Dragon Tail waveform forward, and Matubberman. Big streak to end. Crit will take the cash for it, but it's more importantly another push for Evil Geniuses. Forcing into the tower. GH tries to slow them down with a Spirit Stomp. And he goes for more. Samael in through the rear. He'll find GH. Fear will jump forward. They just go again with the breathe fire damage. GH will go. Yes, he will. Samael will find that kill. Thanks to our split cam, we watch both fights going on while Mind Control gets the double kill. Misery and Crit dying trying to protect that tier 1 tower on top.
EG does not care in the slightest about that. That was super worth it. I mean, they killed a streak, they killed the support, they got the enemy tier 1 tower, and all they lose is there's 2 supports.
Nobody cares on EG. Get more. Fear's coming up behind him. He's still got that ultimate for a while, so Kuro stops for a second. Samael breaks free with borrowed time, and he may just be able to kill Kuro by himself. The breathe fire. 1 charges from Kuro gave him a little bit more life. 1 attack from Samael should do the job. No, it won't. The brain tap. He'll need to do 2. And you'll get him in, but Matubberman and GH, Samael's gone in so deep for the kill on Kuro. Hilarious thing is...
Ooh,
wait,
nice deny.
Nice. So he gets the kill on Kuro with almost 400 gold and denies himself in the trees.
Super worth it. And now EG's, they're still losing by 4K here, and PL is definitely a danger, especially with his Diffusal Blade picked up against heroes like Morphling, but I think EG's, they're definitely in striking distance here, and I think they can have a little sigh of relief with those last couple kills. Like the last 5 or 6 minutes, they're down 8 to 20, but farm-wise, it's not even that far apart considering what it was like at 5 minutes.
Yeah, they're starting to flatline the graphs as we're looking at right now. The issue is still just the size of Miracle. He is such a beast on that Phantom Lancer, 8.5k in the net worth. Everyone else is in reaching distance of each other. It's just that PL.
Just remember, Morphling is going to be PL later anyways, so
that is
let
true.
him get farmed. He's got his own.
Blink Lasso, and crit's dead. Samael, or maybe not, shields him up, can't keep him alive totally, maybe with a throwback. No, Samael puts himself in jeopardy. They need more help here, Evil Genius, but they don't want to. Misery's pushing out the bottom lane, so Samael just needs to fight against all of the Miracles on bottom.
Nicely done. Breaks his ultimate, so he's a little bit more vulnerable again. And Morphling is going to TP top to split push.
No. TP cancel.
That's so big.
Splitter's coming in as well. Waveform's available for RTZ. He'll use it before Kuro can get the Fiend's Grip off. And thanks to that high movement speed from the Haste Rune, he's out and about. Misery will almost die up on top. He TP'd out on very, very low life. While Mind Control and Matama were hunting him, they go on to Fear on top lane. As Fear on the run, Samael needs to give him the shield, and potentially they turn for the fight. Crit's in the neighborhood as well. He wants to pick up some Urn Charges, so he'll pick up Mind Control. Firefly's wearing out in just a second. Samael, so low on life, needs the distance, but EG, they've got the numbers there. So on bottom lane, RTZ will die to the gank from Liquid, but Mind Control still able to blink away. Fear needs to close the distance. In 2 seconds, it takes too long. They know where he is thanks to the creep wave, but they don't want to jump in too deep because the rest of Liquid have now brought support in. Hunting for that kill. Kuro, no Fiend's Grip, making Nightmare, positioning up Misery. They break free, but then the lasso blinking in. They've got the space. They isolate Misery. It's just Sneaker's Prophet. Maybe with that force up, he's got the distance. No, Samael can't shield him up enough. Matubberman, he won't have enough life either. Both Breathe Fire and the Mist Coil giving him that pop damage to bring down the Razor. And Kuro, body blocked up by Misery's trees, now enabling Samael for that double kill. So this fight's going on for Team Liquid. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Miracle is taking the tier 2 tower, continuously gaining more and more space and distance in net worth.
Liquid's just doing a great job multitasking in multiple lanes. Like they committed to finding Arteezy. They knew that they canceled the TP, so he's probably hiding in trees, and they eventually find him. And at the meantime, on the other side of the map, they're perfectly fighting with multiple of their heroes. The only thing that went a little bad was obviously Matubberman getting picked off. And I think that comes a lot down to Samael. He's perfectly reading his fights, constantly shielding the heroes to keep them alive, and allowing them to turn around with enough magic bursts. Like, it's very easy to underestimate how much damage like Aphotic Shield and Mist Coil do, but they have such low cooldowns that you can spam them very often to a team fight, and against a hero like Razor, who doesn't yet have a BKB, that's eventually going to be a kill. Either way, Liquid is still sitting in a nice advantage. They go about even in all those trades, but Miracle also takes the tier 2 tower bottom. So I think Liquid's going to be happy with how that last little group of things have gone. And if you look at the net worth of Morphling, he still hasn't gotten into some overpowering farm area yet.
I think he still needs to get the Lincoln Sphere before he can feel confident enough to do anything. Like the BTs is allowing him to be involved in these engagements. And as long as EG have a small gang squad, they can get away with it with a creep wave behind him. Even a creep wave, you just have trees behind him.
I mean, honestly, I think the carry of this game is going to have to be a Abaddon. He's queuing up a Radiance already. I think it's the right move if they can get it.
They're going to give this a shot. Misery's in. Fear and Samael are sitting around.
He can BOTs in.
Mind Control's fire flying over. Misery's just sitting inside the pit. Here comes the Spirit. Team Liquid, they already know.
I mean, if they want to teleport him into the Roche pit, they can under the Nature's Call Treants. So split push comes. Prophet's going to pressure top tier 2. That should force Liquid back a little bit.
Why do you think Misery's holding on to that Tome of Knowledge and not just like cracking the level 10?
I have no idea. Maybe waiting to give it to somebody else or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he's the delivery service. Bottom lane, Team Liquid are taking a tier 3 tower. So tier 2 cleaned up by Misery up on the top, giving more money in as Morphling remains, but Samael has to be that frontline shield. Matubberman starts the damage deal. But this is why Misery picked up that 4-staff nice and early. Able to break that link, and Liquid are coming back. The pressure up on top lane, they're not going to take the risk. Not when Morphling continues to show himself up there.
I mean, they got real close to killing this tier 3 though, so it's only a matter of time probably till Liquid snipes this, even if it only takes one hero for like a Blink Dagger, hit it a couple times. They might be able to do through backdoor, so not the best for EG. Needed to retreat a little bit faster there, slightly outmaneuvered.
I'm still thinking it's worth it. Like Arteezy was able to pick up the ultimate orb thanks to the money they picked up from top lane, so the Lincoln Sphere is rapidly approaching.
But the Lincolns doesn't necessarily...
Oh, mind control. They got the grab. No, the shield. Breaking it so quickly. Sumail.
It's on top of this.
Just at the right place at the right time. That nice counter to the Bat Rider.
Well, they still trade sentries at least, but...
Fear, blink, stun, into mind control. They want to do enough damage. Here comes GH with a stomp, but waveform from Arteezy. It's Sumail who will find the last hit. That's a big streak to end. And throw more money into that Abaddon.
Definitely a big kill there. He didn't have Firefly, so there was very little chance he actually gets away once they initiate. Nice
They're
pick
still
up.
thinking about Roshan. The Spirit's there from GH. Fear just blinks forward. They're looking for their targets, and they found him as well. It's Kuro waveforming in. Sumail now unstoppable. Of that Abaddon, he's 6-3-1. All this money going closer towards that Radiance. He's got the money for the Relic now. The Courier's making the trip. But they keep looking for the kills, almost using like a potential Roshan attempt as bait.
It's a good idea. I mean, there's a lot of teams that go for Roche and they kind of just throw a lot away because they focus too much on how Roche is the advantage. But if you look at what EG's draft does, they're good at fighting, basically. Dragon Knight blinks in and stuns a guy, and then they all follow up with damage, whether that's Abaddon jumping in, or Morphling waveforming, or Prophet teleporting in. It's just, it's a really good strategy here. They know they can't take Roshan super well themselves. I mean, they have a medallion, I believe, so they have ways, but it's so much easier just to fight Liquid and try to find them when they're spread out. Because if you find Elder Titan by himself, or Bat Rider, or Bane, those heroes are all very vulnerable.
Interesting Misery's position. He's gonna... Okay, I don't know if he should have 4-staffed down just then. GH just goes directly into the stomp. Start the TP once again, but nope, mind control's there, and the ET split up.
Every time this happens,
Misery was there for rewarding duty. That's why.
Every time this happens, I'm like, it's okay. It's just a support. Like that's what this looks like to me. Maybe it's just the Prophet support thing. By the time he's alive, he can instantly be somewhere else. It's so cool, actually. There's no, it like limits the negatives of your support getting picked off because tactically you can again be anywhere. It's really cool, actually, if you think about it. It's so much less costly, and all of his items that he picks up or manages to pick up are all going to be really integral, and it doesn't come with the vulnerability of like, oh, my most farmed hero is a Nature's Prophet, and if he dies, really bad things will happen.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Like, if your Abaddon dies, really bad things will probably happen.
Or Morphling, or Dragon Knight, like, oh, I lost Dragon Knight ulti, but now it's like, oh, whatever, I'm just a Prophet, dude. I've got low cooldown abilities. My longest cooldown is 37 seconds for Nature's Call. Well, that's not true. He's got his ulti, but... Oh, it seems pretty effective so far.
I'm waiting for the Courier Snap as well. This is where the aggressive Observe wards can actually come into play. Matabama wants to go onto Sumail as well as crit, as he will run forward underneath the shrine. Maybe not the greatest thing he wants to have a look at.
It's going to feel a little bad losing another drum charge, but staying alive, definitely a big thing, especially when you're this close to Radiance. Once he picks that up, the whole team fight is going to change. Like, it's a really good item against Phantom Lancer right now, actually. Because PL's HP is still not in a ridiculous area, so evasion, or at least mischance, and they'll be able to find the real one a little bit faster now.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of surprised that Miracle changed that around. Like, you're talking about, like, his life isn't that great.
Are you talking about his item he's queuing up?
Yeah, because he had Heart queued up before.
This is kind of weird. Why did he buy the Silver Edge recipe first? I think there was an accident, maybe. Not sure. There's no reason to buy the recipe before you ever Shadow Blade, right? So.
Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
I mean, it's a cool item to pick up, actually. I kind of feel like...
Unless he felt he's going to die.
Yeah. Another hero I think that can kind of benefit from this is Morphling. Once he gets E-Blade, I think a Shadow Blade is a really good idea. Because the Silver Edge transition is also stat heavy. But for PL, it's kind of the same thing, right? It turns your hero that's conventionally not a very good ganking hero. Adding a Shadow Blade to any hero gives you huge gank potential, especially when they have this many towers killed. You can kind of just move around, look for solo picks.
They're baiting Roshan again. The smoke is up as Mind Control takes to the skies. As there it is, I was waiting for it. The Courier Snipe.
Is that the first one? It was Misery, right?
Yeah, it was Misery.
Yeah.
He put down 2 Observer wards looking for it.
Gotcha.
And he's been watched, like he watched previously, but just had to find that right time to attack. This actually causes problems for Miracle, who's just about to reach the money to buy up his full Shadow Blade, and he can't get it out of base unless he goes home. So Liquid, they're going to go into the pit. The Observer Ward just got deep watered in front of it. Trade-off is happening by Misery pushing the tier 2 tower on bottom, so it's up to EG if they want to try and fight this.
They got the tower already. This Rosh is still pretty high HP.
Dragon Tail stun in. They actually get the kill on the Kuro. Even Mind Control controlled up by the Rubik for half a second. They have a lot of problems, however, and that's all of the Phantom Lances on the field and the strength of Atomic inside the BKB. Arteezy needs to back out again. He knew it. Samael up into the air, Roshan is still alive. Miracle actually gets collapsed by that, dropping insanely low, and they'll kill him. Samael miscoils down the PL. Fear's still in trouble. The buybacks are coming. This time it's going to be coming in from the Rubik. The adaptive strike from Arteezy, not enough damage to kill off Mind Control. They'll shrine up quickly, but not quick enough to save GH. Evil Geniuses not only getting back-to-back kills, but on bottom lane, the pressure being applied from Misery is making Liquid look behind him. They still want to contest Roshan. Mind Control back up into the air once more with a Firefly. Roshan is low, but not at the perfect time. Kuro is the man defending the bottom lane. Now they're low again. Roshan, 1,000. Matamaman's waiting for the right time to strike.
They need to snipe this, but they don't have Firefly for like 18 seconds, so it's really hard actually for them to get in there easily.
Nature's Prophet's back. They can use the tree. She doesn't have tree into the moment, so they sprout for the extra vision. Crit, watching him. He's actually got Echo Stomp, so there's the Aegis Immortal. The BKB, once more used by Matamaman. Crit will hide inside the pit. He ended up stealing Eye of the Storm of all things. They want to try and chase down Matamaman when this BKB wears off. It's a little bit too difficult, however. So he will get away, and Mind Control just starts the creep skip.
I mean,
it's like Liquid are in damage control at the moment.
Absolutely. Like, they're in such a bad place because of the Prophet. Like, before that Rosh even started, Misery just goes bottom, uses his ultimate, starts pushing the tower. As the Rosh fight was about to start, he kills a tier 2, already a huge advantage. And then he just walks up and he does a bunch of damage to the tier 3. Like, they lost over half of the HP of their tier 3 on the bot lane. And EG still won the fight. Like, and all it cost them, I think, was like a Rubik buyback and a couple smart movements.
Yep, you had Rubik was the only hero to buy back during that entire fight. But it feels weird, right? Because Liquid were having their battle up on top while PL was pushing the bottom. This is what was happening like 10, 15 minutes ago. Yep. And it was EG who were being poked and prodded around the map. This time it was like EG saying, come and fight us around Roshan. This is going to be our pivot point that Liquid have to keep coming back to try and stop us from grabbing this Aegis of the Immortal and empowering the Morphling. And in return, we get the push from Misery on the bottom.
And the KDAs,
and then they win the fight as well.
Yeah, exactly. They're getting so much out of it. And even the KDAs don't look great on EG's side. Like, Fear's 2-6 and 11, that's not good. 1-7 and 11 on Rubik. The Prophet's 1-8 and 8. But they're playing their roles so well. Like, they're doing exactly what they need to do to win the game. Like, Fear doesn't even have items, really. Just has Blink, Treads, he's got an Ogre Club. He doesn't even have BKB and we're 30 minutes into the game. But everybody is getting the value out of the hero that they need to on EG's side.
Yep. It's this E-Blade, man. Like, once this arrives, like, Kuro was barely surviving at the start of the fight. Now, he's 100% dead.
He was very out of position, though. I mean, he was on by their Ancients, basically. He got initiated on his support. That definitely did not help.
Silver Edge is now in the hands of Miracle. He is going to go back into that heart that he already had queued up before.
I think maybe he delayed this, worried about the Dragon Knight armor. Maybe he was feeling like he wouldn't be able to get Heart Regen against Radiance anyways, but it's been a while since he got a new item, and that definitely could have cost him. I mean, he went Ultimate Orb. Maybe he should have gone Shadow Blade first. That kind of feels like the right move, because at least then he would have had some utility there versus just the raw HP or stats. Surely a Shadow Blade is better than an Ultimate Orb, even if you're playing PL.
Yeah. Well, either way, I have to live with the decisions now. PL is the only one who is ahead of the two cores of Evil Geniuses.
And he's changing his mind. He's thinking about a BKB now. Yeah. Which he kind of needs as well, because if he gets E-Bladed or initiated on, a BKB is what's going to save him against all the Magic Burst. A Heart could, but it might not be enough. So now if he doesn't get Heart, though, his illusions just don't have that much health, and they may just die easily.
And if he also gets stun control, like I think that would be my biggest hero to watch in the start of the fights, is like, can Fear get that Dragon Tail stun onto Miracle? Because if he's able to do that, then the pop damage that will arrive from the Morphling will be too much. And the only save you'll have is, what, Nightmare, in a way?
Yeah, it could be enough, though. Or maybe Elder Titan disable. Well, they're trying to slow down the creep wave, but
Last remaining out of tower from Team Liquid will now fall. Miracle is approaching the bottom lane. This tower has been sitting at 27 HP for the last 10-15 minutes, so Illusions will come in and they'll finally finish the... No! They will
They'll get
finally...
it. It's Illusions. Any?
Yeah, there we go.
It was only a matter of time. Illusions tickle towers, but that tower was vulnerable to tickles still. And Misery's going to go Meteor Hammer next.
Great.
Right? That's a great
Great
idea.
position. Pick up mind control, thrown down. The E-Blade popped up.
Oh, nice
Nightmare! There's the same we were talking about there from Kuro with the ET Splitter. It's going to catch almost all of Evil Geniuses. The Fiend Grip as well, wasting the time of fear, but the ET Splitter stolen by Crit and turned into Team Liquid, freeing the Dragon and freeing the Morphling. To pick up 2 kills. Prophet was a trade-off, but on bottom lane, the Rax is totally taken by Miracle. And he returns to the top lane to defend. So Team Liquid, they got straight through the bottom lane. The fight was not great. They walked uphill, had the smoke break, got initiated on. The save bought enough time, and Miracle capitalized.
I wonder, I'm not sure if Miracle made the right decision. It's hard to say, right? I feel like if he was in that fight, they might have been able to overpower EG despite the bad start with the instant bat lift. But at the same vein, trading a bad fight for Rax, super worth it.
Yeah.
So it's probably super worth it. I mean, they only lost, what, 2 heroes and Batrider, I believe, something like that.
So it was GH and Kuro.
Super worth it.
Trade for Misery.
Super worth it, for sure.
Yeah.
So what a back and forth game, man. I was pretty sure that EG had lost by 10 minutes. And then they squeezed back into this with the Blink Dagger on Dragonite and a couple good rotations. And everything is back and forth now. EG gets advantaged, and Liquid split pushes in a great way.
Yeah, I can see too why you debate like the Raxing on the bottom. Like we talk about the difference in net worth being so close. Team Liquid have the momentum on the bottom lane, but it's Misery's effect that he had previously. Always pushing out the lanes. He can keep that pressure on bottom and deal with the split push that Liquid is trying to push offer them. And then this allows Liquid time with the wave pushed out to go for a gank. So mind control into the Firefly. Evil Geniuses, they smoke up. They were underneath that dire observer ward, so Liquid know exactly what's going on.
And they're at a pretty good vantage point, too. They've got hard on Razor with BKB, so he's very survivable.
Oh, Liquid, they're walking into it. That TP right on top of the shrine. EG, this is not where you want it to be fighting this, especially with the ET Splitter. Rips him out. Samael's borrowed time will give him time, but not much more than that. Fierce BKB is wearing off now, and this will open him up for Miracle. Samael's TP out will be successful. Fear, however, will stand his ground and die. Oh, wait, no, Samael. You can deny yourself once more, but his TP actually didn't work. 4 heroes lost for Evil Geniuses. The only thing that will slow down Liquid is the fact that Misery is pushing bottom.
Just perfect teamfight start. I didn't see who actually got lassoed, but if E-Blade goes on Batrider and he's able to Yule Scepter himself before he gets picked off, absolutely worth it. Because he gets full lasso duration. That's the burst that Morphling wanted to start with. And then everybody just gets cleaned up by Earth Splitter and BKBs, basically. Between the PL and the Razor, that was just, they just did whatever they wanted for the first 10 seconds of that fight.
Yep. Hopefully we can go back and have a look at the fight after we see what happens with the defense. Matubman and Miracle will go in. TK does not want to buy back just yet. So here's your replay right now. So the last two was onto the Rubik. And then GH's position was just right on the money.
It was a good move. I mean, that's the one hero that was going to be able to easily disable the Batrider, other than the Dragonite. But it's either him or DK stun. That's it for disables. And now Liquid wins a huge team fight by being coordinated and a good initiation with their smoke. And now EG's down 2 racks.
Yep. And Liquid are going to finally start taking care of these shrines on the map.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really bad for EG now. Because this push advantage that they had was great. But after getting that first racks, it made the split push even harder. And now losing that fight convincingly, now they're at a big disadvantage. Should be a lot easier for Liquid to control the map now. Interesting
ping coming out from Misery. Like, he drew a line and basically drew it over the Dire's bottom shrine. So I don't know if this is EG saying, like, push out here and then we fight around and then we just try and get a counter racks. So Misery can do a lot of the push. GH, mind control, jumps in, grabs the Invis rune. That'll actually dodge the E-Blade attack. Don't know if GH will be so lucky the 4-staff doesn't get him out of the pit. The ET Splitter will catch a couple of heroes, but here comes Misery. Sprout up, Kuro protects himself with the Glimmer Cape, and they actually got that detection. As Kuro, Shiva's Guard will slow him down, clipping mind control. They do not want to lose mind control. He's got the Gem of True Sight on him. But Roshan will spawn in 33 seconds. Just enough time for Liquid to respawn.
Well, that's good for them. Finally got a catch there. Gem transferring over to Razor here. He's going to go for a butterfly afterwards. That will give him some advantage in these team fights. Like, he's essentially going to be invulnerable as Razor once his BKBs pop. So I think the initiation is huge here. If EG can get a vision advantage, which they have no wards right now,
they can't,
partially a gem problem. But
it's the gem of mind control. You just can't do it.
If they can initiate first, though, this could be really big, especially if the BKBs on EG are used at the right time. Or I guess the BKB on Dragon Knight, I guess. Sumail does finish his AC, or Shiva's guard as well, so everything just gets better and better against PGL Illusions.
Oh, EG, they're pushing the top as well as the middle lane. This has bought them enough space. Roshan has just spawned up, so they can go and kill him off. In the meantime, Miracle is waiting on the bottom lane for somebody to come to defend. Oh, hello! Misery
nope, no
starts with the meteor. He does not survive this. Buyback is available, but Roshan, he's dying so quickly. Down at 3.8k, and Arteezy just got himself a double damage rune as well. He's opened up the inventory slots. So both Aegis and Cheese will go into Sumail's hands, now belong to Evil Geniuses.
A little tough for Misery, of course, but ultimately way worth it for the Aegis. They'll transition Morphling into Shiva's guard, and this is actually where the BKB heroes on the enemy team are going to have to be a little limited, and that he can chase them down. So, not a terrible place for EG. They're gaining some ground, losing some footage, but...
That Curry get back safely underneath the Dire Observer ward, holding that Skadi for Morphling.
There's actually so many wards around this base. Good luck de-warding everything. But
Arteezy really wants this. It was like the last couple of seconds of the double damage rune. He was hoping that Liquid would oblige with a fight.
That would have been nice. The one hero that double damage truly means double damage.
Well, Misery is back alive. He'll defend the bottom lane. Mid is preparing for engagement. Miracle. Shadowblade running in very, very close, and he starts up. Hits hard. The lasso's on the DK. The Tumman can't attack just yet. The BKB is still now up for him, so he can stand his ground, stealing so much damage with the waveform. Arteezy starting to do work. Fear, however, being chased down. The priority target #1 for Team Liquid.
Ooh, that
now
damage.
they turn their attention to Sumail. Cheese will have to be triggered. The Miracle still does so much more. Arteezy, man, double kill. I was trying to work out which Razor is which, as Arteezy just turned into him and turns into the bigger man of the fight. But no more mana left to fight. He can't attack into the Ghost of the target. Sumail wants to help out with the Shiva Scarf mind control. Slowed up so much. Arteezy, can he find a good target? He needs to find the real Miracle, but Miracle back into the Silver Edge Invis. So he'll survive. Misery, he found the target. The Orchid is on mind control. Mind control will pop. The Gem of True Sight will be lost. So Misery can claim this one. Arteezy never even had the Aegis Immortal pop.
He definitely ran out of mana, though. The PL Illusions were a bit of a problem, but he's at the stage now where he just does a huge amount of physical damage. And Liquid can't really slow that down, not until Razor finishes his Butterfly. But going for the Heart builds with BKB, with the Yasha, I mean, Razor's net worth is not incredible just because they've been moving around fighting so much. So he doesn't quite have the ability to fight against Morph yet. And by the time he does finish the Butterfly, I guess Morphling will be going BKB, so he won't have an MKB solution necessarily. But Razor is having some survivability problems now.
I'm wondering, too, if he changes his item build. Because Arteezy hasn't spent any of that money yet. And he's still got 2 item slots to fill up. Yeah, he's got the Aegis in 1, but Aquila and Aegis can go.
I kind of feel like he does have to get a BKB this game. Just because disables, mana burn, all of those things are limiting him from getting all these kills.
They're going to try and fight up on top. Razor jumps in towards the shrine, so you can probably say goodbye to your Nature's Prophet, but it's just Nature's Prophet. Sumail stands his ground against Matumman. Doesn't actually have the Static Link doing any more of a work. The ET splitter not being used. GH actually so low. Here comes Arteezy. Yulsep has to keep the defense up. There's the Adaptive Strike Link for the kill on GH. Still, it doesn't stop him. Arteezy turns into the Razor. Looks to fight more. You can lasso and control him. This will buy time for Miracle to create more of himself. And Sumail so low on the mana. Finally, mind control will finally go down. But Miracle just doesn't believe he can stand his ground and fight.
He definitely can. Morphling's still 175 here. He's got to be careful.
Sumail, you got to keep bouncing around. Here comes your waveform, back in again. Miracle into Invis. He was underneath the sentry wall, but it still wasn't enough damage to finish him off. The Gem of True Sight will be regathered by Team Liquid's Courier.
That's really nice play by Miracle there to re-engage. Tricks him finally, and the Silver Edge really paying off as he gets low. I mean, who needs a heart when you can just go Invis and run away at max movement speed? Definitely paid off there. And he's about to finish a Scotty of his own. It's like the the danger damage PL. He actually skips the crit perk as well, goes for the doppelganger cooldown reduction. It's a 3-second. Means 33% of the time you can spend invulnerable in the illusion ether or whatever, whatever you want to call it.
So how do you
stuns?
Yeah, like how do you control him?
Get him low enough that you know you can better just AoE the whole group. I mean, Dragonite is very beneficial. He got the Breathe Fire damage perk, so you can reduce his damage by 50% with a Breathe Fire, but he can also doppelgang that off. Like, it's a tough situation. And having a gem is certainly a big advantage as well, because then, as long as he goes invis, you know which one's real. In some ways, it's kind of a tell, but losing another gem like this, it's going to add up a lot in the long term here. Like Crit, he's queuing up a Ghost Scepter now, but he needed that like a fight or two ago.
Let's have another quick look at that fight once more. So Samel was the frontline target. The Stomp really kept him in position, but it took so much damage early on.
Yeah, really nicely done by Crit there to do a big nuke. And Arteezy tried to pick him up.
The Smeliko's bottom lane initiation's there. Crit will create a little bit of space with a pickup throw down to Samel, who needs the extra life. Thank you very much for all the damage into him there, but then again, maybe not for the reposition. Kuro is just fiends gripping down Samel. Buyback is available, and he may have to use it because Miracle goes in deep, but Arteezy, he ends up popping Matolman so quickly, looking to fight harder. The Nightmare is on mind control, so is the Orchid. He'll go invis thanks to the Glimmer Cape. GH, the Spirit Stomp, doing some work, but Arteezy, he actually changes now in towards the Bane, whatever he can be, down towards mind control, holding his position, brains about the damage. Miracle is creep skipping, trying to force EG to turn around and come home to defend their base. And he's going to do exactly that. But there's two huge heroes down for Liquid who do not have buyback.
Yeah, Razor just gets bursted too rapidly. Once this BKB ends, it only lasts for 5 seconds. He's super vulnerable. And Morphling has so much agility, he's dealing like 800 magic damage with Adaptive Strike alone. So, very dangerous moment here for some of the Liquid cores if the fights go on too long. On the bright side, it's still really easy to kill Rubik. That's a pretty nice advantage to have. Pretty much any time they look at him, he dies.
Okay. Just rub salt in the support wounds.
It's tough, man. This is like the reason that you buy defensive items on supports is because like the kills just add up. It's like a Midas for the enemy team. He's got a 4-staff, but it's not enough.
But if it wasn't for Crit too, like if Crit didn't delay them with that telekinesis grab, like it would have been way too okay. Sorry, Crit.
He's playing very well, honestly, but if you get behind like this, if they weren't behind at the start of the game, yeah, he'd probably be able to transition to a survivable item faster, but he's got to do his job, and unfortunately for him, Miracle is smart and farms in the right places and gets these easy kills sometimes.
Smells out so far once more. He's actually going to go in for the Scythe of Vice.
It's a good choice. They need a little bit more lockdown, and being able to stun somebody before they get their BKB off is huge. Being able to get another disable to follow up on Dragonite stun is huge, because, again, Rubik's going to die first, so there won't be a reliable telekinesis into Dragonite stun every time. And even Dragonite's falling off in terms of a core. He's going for a Halberd here. I think it's a pretty good choice. Evasion against the PL illusions, but we got to clear that one time.
Yeah, it for some reason was going directly to the secret shop, so that wasn't exactly what they were looking for. But up on top lane, Nature's Prophet, he started creep skipping. So the illusions can grab the creep wave up on top, but this is now going to be that effect, and like Liquid will know this all too well. This is what happens when Mind Control plays the Nature's Prophet, and Misery, he'll do exactly the same type of thing. Just keep pushing down to the lane, split push it out. Yeah, his treants don't survive that long, that's the downside, but he can just keep the push going by just media hammering, TPing in. At least relieve the pressure without having to commit Arteezy into a position where he can get ganked.
He's playing this very, very safe now because he knows that Miracle can basically right-click him from far away and just press Silver Edge and come in like a bat out of hell getting a kill.
Observers and sentries are down. There's no double damage on the top. It's going to be an Arcane Rune. They give that to Samel. What's the Roshan spawn timer? So 1 minute and a half-ish for Roshan to spawn.
So EG definitely going to look for a kill right now. Be a nice pick-off, and that's why Liquid is also grouped around his 5. They can't be as flexible on the map, but at least PL can TP back and show up with his team. He's currently 7-slotted.
Both teams have observers and sentries down. They're out of range of each other. Kuro does have that extra sentry ward available, but it's the wraparound. EG up on the Dire high ground. If they go down, now they're visible to the Dire Observer and Sentry Ward, so Liquid have all the information. EG currently do not, but bottom lane, you got Misery doing it again. It's that little split push out. Miracle jumps in, he gets the BKB off. The lasso, it's onto the DK. Have they got enough control? Maybe they do, but Tomlin's standing its ground. Fear is dropping down low, but Arteezy is still a huge beast. He'll kill off Kuro. He wants a core, however, but he'll only be able to get the supports. Misery will finally join the fight. They'll Yule's up. GH will go down. So the two cores are fighting in opposite directions. It's Miracle who doesn't have the life to survive. Samael was able to fight toe-to-toe with the Phantom Lancer. And now they're 15 seconds away from Roshan spawn time. Still hunting kills on the north, but trouble at home. The tier 4 towers, they're under siege. Samael must come back.
With Sumail's items, it's a little bit hard for him to pick off the Batten, and the initiation was a little slow going on Miracle there, so it made the fight kind of hard for EG in that the Dragon Knight was the one focused, but he was able to stay alive long enough. Morphling focused on the heroes he's good at killing, which is supports, and then Sumail was able to keep Miracle busy, and because he has no heart, at some point Miracle and his illusions are going to run out of health, and he's forced to disengage. So that fight was pretty much perfectly played by EG considering the bad circumstances.
This is huge for Liquid. So even though the fight wasn't really great for them, you still have Evil Geniuses not able to contest the Roshan pit. And this is Aegis, Cheese, and Refresher Shard all coming out. So Aegis into the hands of the Razor, Cheese into the Bat Rider. And where did that Refresher Shard end up? It's actually on the Courier, coming home. So we have a quick look at that fight once more.
They spot a Miracle.
It really got messy. Everyone was standing on top of each other.
Yeah, it seemed basically like Liquid is having a little bit of trouble overpowering heroes now, damage-wise. Matumba Man was forced to retreat. Miracle lost quite a bit of health at the start. He's able to pick off the support. But in the meantime, the rest of the EG heroes are killing their own supports.
We can come back alive. Arteezy's in trouble. He needs to get out of here. Lincoln Sphere triggers instantly and into the Fiend's grip. Gemma Trueside is lost.
Huge kill.
Your Morphling is down. They probably expected Misery to be the one to die. He was creep skipping a little bit further north.
They basically spotted him with the Invis from PL, and Kuro was able to approach with the Glimmer Cape and get the grip. And that means no Strength Morph, which means a dead Morphling. So big pick off there for Liquid. Yep. Especially on the back of an Aegis, this has got to be bad for EG.
They have his buyback, but if EG get pressured inside the base, they're probably going to need that. Like, they had to commit the DK buyback last time they repelled Liquid in the fights. So this time it'll have to be the Morphling, unless EG can buy time. But Liquid aren't waiting. Mind Control into Firefly, they're looking for a target, and they're coming for that top lane of Rags. This will be a forced out buyback. Even an Aghanim Scepter for the Razor. They put the Refresher Shard in him, so you're going to have the double ulti. This is going to be so huge for Matumberman. You just have to get him the confidence to push into the high ground, so here he comes. First Eye of the Storm is up. Still no buyback from the Morphling. There's your Refresher Shard, so second ulti has been committed. That tower fortification will protect it for the moment. Samael wants to run forward. The Aphotic Shield is there with the extra buff up. Razor, they're throwing him around. The stun's out. Matumba's BKB will let him stand. Here's your buyback. Morphling comes into the fight. Where's your first target? Miracle so low. Mind Control jumps in deep too. The two cores of Liquid, they're so low. Razor saved for the half a second, but maybe not long. Fear has the high ground. Miracle has a doppelganger himself a little bit further away. They're on his tail. The land's forward. He just keeps doppelgangering away. They don't know the real one. Fear's chasing nothing but an illusion. He'll jump down further, and the storm from GH. Such space created, but Crit out of range of it. Gets the grab on Matumban, who'll have to burn the cheese. The chase is still on. The waveform, Arteezy and Fear combining together to kill off Matumban. Misery was in the neighborhood as well, looking for GH. He does not find him. The rest of Liquid have managed to retreat. EG hold their top racks. They
were so close to getting more in that fight. Miracle just barely got away, and it cost them at least one other kill going for that one. So it takes a very long time for EG to get some of these.
Misery. Well, as you said, Purge, is just a profit.
I don't know about this time. I mean, that's 80 seconds. They've only lost their tier 3 tower. It keeps getting a little bit harder for EG here.
Here's that push again. So Samael tries to gain their attention. And the grip once again from Crit stops everything.
Yeah, the Fear stun came a little bit too late there for them to be able to get the kill on the Razor in an easy way, so they're forced to actually overextend slightly to try to get this kill. And Miracle's BKB here, he's very low the whole time. They are able to keep Arteezy alive, he loses all of his health, but it was only the Razor health. tries to get the miracle kill, but the low cooldown doppelganger gets him out of there. He tricks Fear. They go for the illusion instead, and yeah, Miracle's going to make it out of that fight.
Really thought that fight was going to be so much more swayed the way of Team Liquid. Like you had Razor, fresh Agatims with the refresher was his first reveal too. You had Aegis, you had Cheese. All three were burnt, and what Liquid were capable of achieving was the buyback from the Morphling, which they're going to get anyway because of the early pickoff, and a tier 3 tower.
Yeah,
like this is the position you're in. Like EG, even if they lose this top lane of Raxxon up against Megas, they're still capable of defending and taking the fights.
It's still a really hard thing to do though, because you have to be high ground. You're in an out of position location, and if they can chain stun you, and then you have to run back, and they don't even necessarily have the best. Like I feel like EG has in a lot of ways better late game right now. Yep. Yes, they have Lasso and Elder Titan, but they're also up against an Abaddon who has pretty much a guaranteed Aegis, is kind of what his ultimate feels like right now.
Yep.
And they're up against a Morphling who's a far better late game carry. So they are definitely fighting a little bit uphill, but they're still gaining a little ground every fight.
There's a Bloodthorn over on Miracle. He's itching for a target. The boots are in the backpack. There's this all fight mode. He walks straight past Samel. He doesn't want him. Sentry ward's going down now for crit. All across the top lane. They want to see the second anyone from Liquid gets close, and look, Samel's confidence. He runs forward to clean the wave up because Misery's doing it again. He's getting in behind the lines. They want to clean up the wave. Add the pressure into the base.
It's working out a little bit. I mean, Liquid's not going to be able to go high ground until 2 waves from now, but this is definitely accomplishing more than enough.
Yep. That's why Miracle's bouncing around through the mid and the bottom. Like, his illusions are everywhere, keeping these lanes pressured in. He knows if that creep wave could hit the base, they're not going to have that same mistake that was made, I want to say, against Fnatic.
They just need this opportunity to get a kill. If they can find a hero that's out of position and score that kill, it'd be huge. They've got the Hex on Abaddon. Arteezy still has tons of damage. It's gone for 2 waveform charges over the multi-shot adaptive strike. I think it's a good choice this game. Mobility is the bigger issue.
They're coming in through the bottom. A refresher orb for ET. All right, sure. It's going to take a while to fly out, and the Couriers is not here for the fight. Blink. Lasso, he was just out of range mind control to grab Fear.
Refresher's kind of interesting. I don't even think he has enough mana to cast Earth Splitter twice. It's like 400, 375 to refresh. 2 Earth Splitters is like 450 alone.
Crunch the numbers hard, man.
I don't think he's going to have enough mana. It's a cool idea, but he might need like a energy booster or something to make this worthwhile. If you can do a sleep and a double ulti, that's technically a one-shot. And if you can be in melee range, get both your auras, have maybe like an AC on your team, yeah, that one-shots entire team. So hypothetically, this can work out.
Razor finally showed himself up on top, but Topman doesn't have BTs, so he can't just run back to this fight. So he's committed to pushing that top lane all the way through. EG understand this, so they 5-man smoke up. They're looking for a kill. They don't really want to go on to Miracle. They want a better target. And Kuro, as well as Mind Control. There's a close one's Fear. He gets the stun off the pick up over on Kuro. Drag him back. The control, the pop damage is there. So Kuro will fall on Mind Control. That damage is huge on him. To the ET, he refresher orbs. The splitter was twice, but Arteezy already has the double kill. So the refresher orb gets committed, but really it did nothing.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the moment to use it, because he has to use it in an offensive potential where he can actually walk into close range to get his aura amplifying the damage. But that was more of like a defensive run away before this goes bad, and I think he overestimated how strong that would be. So EG finally gets a grab. Does get 2 heroes at least. The Batrider probably needed to try to escape there, but ultimately EG wins the fight.
We start the Roshan clock again. Potentially EG can push and force some level of a buyback. Like, their issue is Miracle on top, but so actually, yeah, they can't do jack. Even if Misery they need more than Misery to defend this top lane. So Samel retreats, and Roshan could spawn in 10 seconds.
I mean, maybe they can sit around and get lucky with the DD on the top rune. That's one way.
That would be the dream. Like, what, Roshan spawns instantly, and then it's like, he's a minute 30. So again, it's roughly the same counter as before. It's a double damage on bottom.
Well, at the least, Morphling can sit on the map and look for some kills. I think it's okay for him to be a little bit aggressive like this.
That's 620. All right, yeah, sure, why not?
That's pretty good damage.
He's still short of the timer for buyback, but almost everyone from Evil Geniuses has their buyback now. Rupert gets short by 800, and Arteezy's only short by time. And that's a minute and a half, which is Roshan time.
It's not too bad. Yeah, it'll be... Give him just enough time to look for some kills. As long as EG doesn't take a fight before that, they should be pretty confident right now.
Miracle switches item build again.
I mean,
he's actually put the Silver Edge into his backpack, triggers it, and then picks up the Nullifier.
This is tough for him. Like, he feels like he has to find a way to be able to win the game, but Peel's not a very good ultra late game hero. Unless you can overwhelm your opponents with the heavy illusions, but the damage is always going to be a bit weak, especially when you go this doppelganger cooldown.
Debating with Miracle. They ping, they know the right one. They want a better target, so the Firefly's up from mind control. He'll cut across the wave, looking for an extra target. Matama picked up, dropped down, that double damage. Easy, just turns into the Razor. Starts dealing even more damage. Fear as well. They want Matama dead. The last from mind control. Control is great! There goes your Morphling, there goes your big hero. It's up to Sumail as well as Fear to hold the lines against Miracle and the rest of the squad. Miracle losing life again so quickly, and Fear went up. This damage just really is that unimpressive. We all stop for a second as GH put everyone to sleep. Then they come back to the fight, the charge forward. They need that damage to breathe fire. Doppelganger will help dodge it for Miracle. Matama not so lucky. That Wrath of Nature continues to bounce through. Abaddon put to sleep. They're back towards the shrine. Liquid regenerating up quickly. Fear gone a little bit too far into this one. Miracle so low, 127 HP. They'll Glimmercape him to keep him alive. Sumail is in real deep as well. He wants to fight. Up and towards the end, they've nightmared him once again, but Crit bouncing around everywhere, keeping the control going. The buybacks are coming in. They want the PL back on the front lines. He's not TPing out to the shrine, however. They're actually defending their top lane because the tier 3 tower was attacked. The bottom melee racks was brought down.
That
I kind of want to watch this
so
in a 3-split cam if PGL production could do 3-way on this.
Man, it was such a close fight. I mean, EG, Morphling transformed right back into himself right as he got disabled. And that, so he wasn't able to morph in time. And he didn't, he had BKB already used as the Razor. He stole this damage, but he goes down, didn't have buyback, and somehow they're able to catch up and kill Miracle. That's all about Crit right there. But it looked really scary. If all of Liquid got away out of that fight while being able to force a buyback on Morphling, it would have been really bad for EG.
Yep.
But maybe they can still take Roche advantage due to the double racks. At least they can kill their opponent's shrines, but I don't even think the shrines matter that much anymore. It's all about the fight.
EG's coming for Roshan. After that buyback was committed from Morphling later on, like just to get the lanes back in control, like this has to be EG's. Another refresher shard available. Batrider hovering around in the Firefly. This is why you see Misery now in the bottom lane. He's adding pressure because if he can keep this bottom lane pushing in, he can even backdoor through the top lane. He just needs that creep wave to go in. Crit, another grab. He got Matama. The chain stuns. They got him low and they brought him down. Buybacks maybe going to be committed. That BKB from Fear is so quick. They're going into Roshan. Now Liquid, the hard choice. Do they contest? The buyback is there from Razor. They have to come thick and fast. The Dragon form is up, and they want to come and fight. They jump in. ET evaporates into air. They even kill the creep. He can't beat here the front line. It's going to take long for Liquid to get the reinforcements in. The damage is high. PL is controlled at the moment. It was Crit who stopped the Fiend's grip. That hold there, the ET splitters. It's a nice double up, and that's why Morphling is down. Sumail's in trouble, but he's doing so much damage in return. Fear can stand his ground, but Sumail, no, the borrowed time. Not enough time. They can send Fear into the air. Now Matoma, they need to kill off this Dragon Knight. He's the last big core. Sumail wants to try and help. Meanwhile, up on top, the Brax is being done. The space is created by GH, who gets the stomp off, allowing Matoma to start the retreat. So the buyback is still available from Nature's Prophet. He added enough pressure. The bottom range racks went down. The top tier 3 is gone. Liquid continue to look behind themselves while Roshan is still the primary target #1 for both sides. With no Morphling alive.
Man, GH has just been turning all of these fights amazingly. Like, it's easy for Morphling to jump in and feel confident. The way that EG approached that was amazing. Buyback comes, they know that Liquid's coming. They instead leave the Roche pit, instantly get a kill. Then they feel overly confident, but then Morphling's standing next to ET and he gets like 2-shot or something. Instantly dies. And then EG's on the back foot again.
There's only one hero on this map right now who has buyback, and that's the Batrider. PL in through the top lane. Sumail is there to do the defense. That pop damage really hurts. Miracle down to a third. Miracle down to nothing. They've got him down 2 minutes without buyback. Matama's TP out of the cover. BKB won't work. He dies.
Okay. Well, now they can do whatever they want, I guess. Morphling's up in 20 seconds. Prophet can teleport anywhere, and now this game looks even.
They should know this as well. Both of the both of the buybacks are on cooldown because of time. So EG will understand the fact it's not money. They cannot be alive anymore.
It's
the
90
time
seconds.
Is so long.
They can push Arax, they can take Roshan, but they're going to go for the push. It makes perfect sense. Teleport in the Morphling with Boots of Travel. If they can get a 2-Rax here, the game will be completely even, and they've still got 80 seconds. If they can get a hero pick off or something like that, the game could be over.
Mind Control's going to attempt it. He's got Refresher off the jump in the lasso. He's trying to control some out. There's your secondary lasso. The ET split are defensive. It doesn't really help much at all. You've lost too many.
Oh my
heroes
God,
down,
they did it.
And GG, well played. Liquid seem to have the absolute dream start against evil geniuses, but they fall in 62 minutes and 29